Gareth Southgate for Manchester United, so why the hell not? The prospect, first floated in this column a month ago, is an ever more realistic possibility. Two of Southgate's key allies, Dan Ashworth and Dougie Freedman, have been lined up as United sporting director and head of recruitment by Sir Jim Ratcliffe.
More than anything, United requires squad unity. They need a coherent culture where there has been a chaotic circus, the very essence of the job Southgate has performed during 7.5 years as England manager. Also, Ratcliffe says he wants United's squad to have an English core. There are an unusually high number of very good English footballers right now, and no prospective United manager would be more likely to attract them than Southgate, who holds the absolute confidence of England's elite players.
Read more. Man United NEWSGREEN light. Mason Greenwood could still return to Man United with club yet to make decision. Power up. Get £40 in free football bet builder bets when you stake £10 with Paddy Power. And Southgate played a major role in improving the technical level of young English footballers in his FA work before he took the top job. Late last year, Southgate took the uncharacteristic step of publicly stating he felt ready for a major club role in an interview with Sky, in which he insisted that no position in football holds greater profile or pressure than the England job.
There have been howls of derision from many United supporters about the very mention of Southgate for United. Some of this is down to delusions of historic grandeur. United are not as attractive a proposition as they once were, there will be no Champions League next season, and whoever succeeds Eric Ten Hag faces an extensive rebuilding operation.
Most read in football title race. Supercomputer predicts final Prem table as title comes down to goal difference. Lost his head. Serie A boss sacked in 37-word statement after HEADBUTTING. Opposition player Geggen stressing Klopp brutally calls out Southgate on live TV after Liverpool v Man City. WAG TV wronged pair. Lauren Goodman Rita Johals sign up for TV show about real life of WAGSCHELTENHAM. Betting offers best free bet deals for the festival. Another factor in the anti-Southgate sentiment is that the England chief does not fit the current stereotype for elite managers. This states that they must show touchline passion, as well as maverick tactics, and that they most definitely not be English.
Man United fans cry when will we learn after Sir Jim Ratcliffe approves £100 million transfer bid for unproven star Roberto De Zerbi and Thomas Tuchel fit that criteria, but both are firebrands who would not fit into United's impending new structure nearly as well. De Zerbi has overseen relatively minor improvement at Brighton, a brilliantly run club, whoever the manager is.
Tuchel, meanwhile, looks likely to become the first Bayern Munich boss in 12 years to fail to win the Bundesliga. Other criticisms of Southgate tend to focus on an outdated caricature of an overly cautious manager who distrusts flair players and comes up tactically short in the biggest matches.
Yet England were anything but boring at the Qatar World Cup, where they had the highest goals per game ratio in the tournament and went toe-to-toe with defending champions France before they were eliminated because of Harry Kane's missed penalty. Southgate's achievements are frequently overlooked. A first World Cup semi-final in 28 years, a first major final since 1966, competitive wins over Spain, Germany and Italy, twice, as well as a first World Cup penalty shootout success.
Man United News Live. All the latest news from Old Trafford and the basis of all that was the transformation of the England squad's culture, as Southgate eliminated egomania, cliques, apathy and fear. Which is pretty much the job spec at United. Yet people forget just how bad, and how silly, the England national football team was for so long before Southgate arrived.
After that, we get to Southgate having led Middlesbrough to relegation in his only previous club role. But Southgate was in his 30s then. He is now 53 and has been successful in a job long considered impossible.
And he actually enjoyed 2 decent seasons as Borough boss before a major reduction in the club's wage bill played a significant part in relegation. None of this will stop the skepticism among vast sections of United support. Many people made their minds up about Southgate long ago and facts are rarely relevant.
Perhaps the greatest difficulty for Southgate will be timing, assuming that Ten Hag is sacked at the end of the season, and the Dutchman will need something extraordinary to save himself. Southgate is contracted to the FA until December, but there is an acceptance on both sides that he is likely to leave after this summer's Euros, at which England and France are the 2 clear favourites.
United would not want to wait until the conclusion of that tournament in mid-July to appoint a new manager, and neither Southgate nor the FA would want such a deal to be announced in advance. Also, the unlikely prospect of one Iceland-style performance leading to England's early elimination could make Southgate at United look ridiculous.
Still, many United supporters wouldn't want Southgate, even in the more likely eventuality of England winning the Euros in style. Billionaire Ratcliffe, with a ballsy attitude which comes from being the most successful man in any given room, won't care too much about public opinion.
So, Southgate for United. The prospect is real and intriguing. Why the hell not? Inside Ratcliffe's Man United plans, everything you need to know as Sir Jim Ratcliffe takes charge at Manchester United. Ratcliffe opens door for controversial Mason Greenwood return. We're not a brutal organisation, but Ratcliffe on Ten Hag's future inside Ratcliffe's 5-window transfer plan.
Including Rashford. Ratcliffe channels Fergie with iconic warning to Man City and Liverpool inside plans to turn Old Trafford into Wembley of the North. Arteta gamble pays off. Fair play to Mikel Arteta, who signed David Raya because he felt that, while Aaron Ramsdale was an excellent shot stopper, he was not good enough with his feet. When Ramsdale got a chance against Brentford, he proved his boss right, making 2 world-class stops but conceding a goal because he wasn't good enough with his feet.
Raya couldn't play because he is officially on loan from Brentford, even though he is out of contract with the Bees next summer, and a £27 million fee for a permanent deal has been announced, with the Gunners agreeing an initial loan to circumvent FFP issues. So Raya, unlike most loan players, cannot be said to hold any affiliation to his parent club.
Yet had Arsenal not scored a late winner, Ramsdale's blunder for Yoane Wissa's equaliser might have ended up as the incident which cost Arteta's side the title. This is clearly a nonsense. Either loan moves between Premier League clubs should be scrapped, perhaps with an exception for under-21 players, or this FFP loophole needs closing.
Saudi takeover. Saudi Arabia's stooge-in-chief Amanda Staveley says Saudi clubs will soon compete in the Champions League. And she's right. They will. Because there are too many people in football like Staveley, willing to bend over backwards to appease a barbaric regime because of money.
Have it all. Kai Havertz has scored in 4 consecutive league games for Arsenal, where Jorginho is also impressing, while Timo Werner has 2 in 2 for Spurs. All 3 were supposed to have been Chelsea flops. But maybe Chelsea was the problem, not Havertz, Werner or Jorginho.
City issues. An error from left-back Nathan Ake turned the tide of Sunday's summit clash between Manchester City and Liverpool. He's a good player, Ake, but he's not a specialist left-back. Likewise Josko Gvardiol, another centre-half who's played much of the season at left-back.
In fact, City don't have a senior specialist left-back on their books. Which begs the question, why not? Ref watch. That's 3 consecutive 1-0 defeats for Nottingham Forest, with a crucial contentious refereeing decision going against them in each game, the latest being Brighton's Jakub Moder escaping a clear red card on Sunday. So the idea that Forest's employment of former elite ref Mark Clattenburg might somehow help in this area is clearly not the case.
Read more Sun Stories. Thin Ice. Greg Rutherford shares health update after hospital dash before dancing on ice. To your credit. Big change to universal credit coming within weeks. See if you're affected. Box clever. Some say that the idea of a 58-year-old Mike Tyson fighting a bloke off the internet represents a new low for boxing's descent into freak show status, but I say boxing hasn't gone far enough. So, on the undercard of Iron Mike vs Jake Paul, I'm proposing that the ghost of Rocky Marciano fights the former TV ventriloquist Bob Carroll.